You're the reason I've been locked away in here. You're not my mother. You're my master. Or should I say, you were.
Wednesday Addams, we both know that she's the real enemy. She's here, in the building, right now.
Hello, my friends. In today's video, we're diving into the new season of Wednesday, the first 4 episodes. If you haven't watched the first season for whatever reason, you can check it out using the link in the description and the pinned comment. So let's get started. Season 2 opens with Wednesday tied up in a dark, eerie basement, surrounded by unsettling porcelain dolls. How did she end up here?
He's under the delusion that I'm his next victim. I'll let him cherish that notion while I explain my predicament.
6 weeks earlier, she had finally mastered control of her psychic abilities with the help of Goody's Book of Shadows. With her powers steady, she set out to fulfill an obsession she's had since childhood, taking down the Kansas City Scalper, a serial killer who murders women and uses their hair to craft lifelike dolls. To launch her mission, Wednesday sent Thing to sneak into the police station and steal a prized bowling ball belonging to the Scalper's 11th victim. Touching the ball allowed her to psychically track the killer's location, sending her to Kansas to hunt him down. At the airport, Wednesday sets off an alarm at security and reluctantly hands over her brass knuckles. The guards grow more suspicious, so they scan her with a metal detector. She's forced to surrender an arsenal of hidden weapons.
Which part of prohibited items don't you understand, young lady?
The part where you believe that cramming hundreds of people into a metal tube flying through the air creates some sort of utopia where weapons aren't needed.
Can we get a bag check over here?
I'm headed to the Junior Embalmers Convention in Kansas City. It's a prosthetic hand.
Yeah, that's not the problem. You care to explain this?
Curious. I have no idea how that ended up in there.
This is over 3.4 ounces, which means it's a big no-no.
Sun cream? Seriously?
Wednesday eventually tracks down the Scalper and tries to tase him, but he blocks the attack. The moment he touches her, she's pulled into a vision, this time with black tears streaming from her eyes. That's how she ended up in the killer's basement. The Scalper enters, carrying torture tools, and shows her a doll made in her likeness, explaining this is how he remembers his victims. He removes her gag, and Wednesday coolly tells him,
Let me show you some of my own handiwork.
As she locks eyes on another doll, Thing bursts out and attacks like a maniac, giving her the chance to break free. After Thing knocks him down, he notices the black tears.
It's nothing, just a minor psychic glitch.
But Wednesday warns him to keep it secret. She then grabs a knife and lunges at the Scalper. Back home, Wednesday sits before a framed newspaper with the headline, Scalper Scalped, and the killer's photo. She searches Goody's spellbook for answers about the black tears but finds nothing. Morticia enters, urging her to get ready to return to school and says she can't wait to read Wednesday's novel.
When do I get to read your novel?
When the sun explodes and the earth is consumed in a molten apocalypse. Soon, Mother. Soon.
On the way to school, her brother Pugsley, now enrolling at Nevermore, shows off his electrokinesis. Morticia and Gomez praise him, and Gomez notes he shares the same gift as Uncle Fester. When Pugsley asks why his father didn't inherit it, Morticia says being an outcast is a state of mind. Wednesday, however, only cares how his power might help her. She tests his aim, ordering him to hit the O on a stop sign ahead or be ejected from the car.
Only Dad's button can do that.
I had Thing rewire it.
He succeeds, but the shattered sign causes a car pileup and explosion. At Nevermore, the Addams family arrives. Morticia notes it's the first time Wednesday has willingly returned to a school. Wednesday boasts that she'll bend the school to her will. Students immediately swarm her for autographs.
I only signed my name in blood.
I would expect nothing less.
I never said it was my own blood.
Until Bianca uses her siren power to disperse them. She explains that Wednesday's heroics against Marilyn Thornhill and the Hyde made her famous. The new principal, Barry Dort, arrives to introduce himself, calling her the savior of Nevermore and announcing the return of the Founder's Pyre, a long-lost outcast tradition featuring a massive bonfire. He invites her to be the student of honor, saying he wants to restore the school's glory and criticizing the former principal's leadership. Wednesday declines, saying she won't speak ill of the dead and prefers to demonize the living. In Jericho, private investigator Carl Bradbury secretly photographs a couple about to have a picnic. Suddenly, a one-eyed crow and a swarm of others surround him. He retreats into his van, locks the doors, and calls someone to say he's been made, adding that if he dies, the evidence is safe at the bullpen. He doesn't notice the crows already inside until he turns around, and they attack. At Nevermore, in her dorm, Wednesday is stunned to find her roommate Enid hosting a party. Enid greets her warmly,
Howdy, roomie.
then sends everyone out. She chats about her summer vacation and gifts Wednesday a black t-shirt from a festival. In return, Wednesday offers a doll she took from the Scalper's basement.
It's made from real human hair.
Enid awkwardly accepts. Enid shares her goals for the year, including joining the Nightshades. Wednesday says she plans to avoid people and finish her novel, showing Enid the 2 years of work she's put into it.
Call it death by 1,000 notes.
This one here just looks like a typo.
It's not. That's the old English spelling for dismemberment. This novel was 2 years of my life. I'll have to pry it out of my cold, dead hands before I change a single word.
Ajax knocks, prompting Enid to hide. He asks after her.
Is Enid around?
But Wednesday lies.
Do you mind giving her this?
After he leaves, Enid admits she no longer feels the same about him. She's changed. Wednesday urges her to talk to him. Suddenly, a crossbow bolt shoots out of their closet, striking the wall beside a photo of Wednesday and Principal Dort from earlier. Scrawled across it, "Welcome back, Wednesday. I'm still watching."
Wait, you have a stalker?
Don't be jealous.
Wednesday grabs the photo and tries to psychically identify the stalker, but fails.
I didn't see the stalker. You've got a little something. It's nothing.
Meanwhile, Morticia and Gomez settle Pugsley into Caliban Hall, Gomez's old dorm. Pugsley meets his roommate Eugene and cheerfully asks how it felt to be mauled by the Hyde. Eugene says he still wakes up screaming.
That's awesome.
Gomez offers advice before leaving the boys to bond. Eugene shows Pugsley his bug collection.
They're so juicy. Perfect for late night munchies.
They're pets, not snacks.
And explains he only agreed to room with him because he owes Wednesday. Ajax drops by to announce he's the hall's resident advisor and asks if the boys have any questions.
Do you have any questions?
Can you stone me with your snakes?
That's not gonna happen. Are you and Enid still together, or she finally come to her senses?
I know the chances for asking me are next to zero, but I don't care. I'll keep putting myself out there until Enid finally sees me.
And if she never does?
She will. I'm playing the long game.
Okay, Ajax and I will go check out the conservatory.
What's he doing in your room?
Calm down, Eugene.
That Gorgon is a moron.
Do you two have any dorm-related questions?
When they don't, he leaves. Later, Wednesday joins her family and Principal Dort, who mentions Morticia may be spending more time on campus. He asks her to chair the gala fundraising committee, explaining that Xavier's father, the former chair, stepped down after Xavier was falsely accused of murder last year. Xavier is now transferring to a school in Switzerland. Dort urges Morticia to consider his offer, then takes them to Rotwood Cottage, the former home of Marilyn Thornhill, now in prison, where they'll spend the night.
Who decorated this place?
A homicidal maniac.
Nothing your putrefying touch couldn't fix, garbage.
He adds that the cottage could be hers if she accepts. After Dort leaves, Wednesday questions her mother's interest in the role. Morticia says it's a chance to stay close and act as her temporary spirit guide, since no one else in their bloodline remains to fill that role.
Temporarily, of course, until a new guide presents themselves.
Wednesday dismisses the idea, saying Morticia is a dove, psychics who see positive outcomes, while she's a raven, destined to see doom. Morticia reveals she knows plenty about ravens because her sister Ophelia was one, and admits Wednesday reminds her more of her aunt with each passing year. Wednesday insists she'll be fine, and urges her to focus on Pugsley. After she leaves, Morticia tells Gomez she's certain Wednesday is hiding something, and she won't let history repeat itself. In the woods, Wednesday brushes off Thing's advice to listen to her mother. She spots police removing the remains of Carl Bradbury, his eyes gouged out by crows. At the scene, she meets the new sheriff, Santiago, and notices a hooded man watching. When he sees her, he bolts. Wednesday chases and intercepts him, only to discover it's Tyler's father, former Sheriff Donovan Galpin. He explains that he and Bradbury were working a case, and Bradbury uncovered something that could endanger outcasts, something that got him killed.
You care about outcasts now?
My son is an outcast. Yeah, I know what he's done, but it's Thornhill. She turned him into a monster.
Tyler was always a monster.
Donovan asks for Wednesday's help, but she refuses and walks away. Before leaving, he warns her. The crows are always watching. That night at Nevermore, Principal Dort summons Bianca to his office, asking her to serve as student liaison for the fundraiser. She refuses, but he reminds her that she's on a scholarship, and if the event fails, some students, including her, may be cut.
Using your powers of persuasion for a good cause should be applauded. I'm sure you agree. We all want what's best for Nevermore, so why don't you take another look at that schedule of yours and see if you can squeeze this in. You can give me your decision tomorrow.
Meanwhile, Ajax tells the Caliban Hall freshman a legend about a boy with a weak heart who built himself a mechanical one.
He spent his days in bed, drawing all the incredible machines he planned to build someday. Now the doctors, they only gave him months to live. So he decided to design his own heart, so that his body could keep up with his dazzling mind. The operation was successful, but the clockwork heart, it changed the boy. He became cold and driven by ambition. When he arrived at Nevermore, he was hailed as the greatest mind to ever walk the halls. But his inventions became more dangerous.
His inventions later killed him, and he was buried under the skull tree, where the ticking of his heart can still be heard by the brave. Pugsley listens with a wicked grin.
Thing, what are you doing out here? Wednesday yelled at you? Man, the sudden popularity's really getting to her. I think some people just aren't built for fame.
Enid cheers up a sulking Thing by building him a miniature room and officially welcoming him into her pack. Thing slips on the pack's ring. In his room, Pugsley finds the skull tree's location and uses his powers to revive a dead spider. The new head of music, Miss Capri, enters as Wednesday plays, urging her to feel the beautiful chaos in the music.
Miss Capri, the new head of music.
Is this the same as Adora Capri, who completed her first classical album Wolf Howl at the age of 10?
I didn't realize I had any fans left.
I've always been fascinated by child prodigies.
Wednesday dismisses her, saying she isn't looking for a lesson. The next day, Da Vinci students use telekinesis to build a massive eagle-shaped pyre for that night's bonfire. Principal Dort and Morticia arrive, and he flatters her while pressing for an answer about chairing the gala.
Have you made your decision about chairing the gala yet?
She says she's still considering. When he offers to find her a student liaison, Bianca steps up.
Which is why you would have a liaison student to assist you. And I am on the hunt for that perfect person.
Look no further. She's here.
Dort invites Morticia to attend the pyre and make her decision afterward. That night, Wednesday receives a letter and painting from Xavier.
I tried texting, but I guess you lost the phone I gave you.
Welcome to the 21st century, Addams. My number's in there already.
You have a phone?
I dropped it in the bath.
The painting shows a one-eyed crow perched on a tombstone. In his letter, Xavier says he's certain the image is connected to her. Wednesday then notices her typewriter has been tampered with and her novel is gone, replaced by a riddle and a photo of her with the eyes cut out. From the riddle, she deduces that her stalker plans to burn her novel at the Founder's Pyre that night.
My stalker's going to burn my manuscript at the Founder's Pyre.
That's not your only copy, right? Seriously? Copy machines aren't even 21st century technology.
Determined to save 2 years of work, she rushes to the ceremony. By the way, can someone tell me what happened with Wednesday's skin retouching this season? Her cheeks and nose look obviously too blurry compared to the others. Just pay attention, and you'll notice what I'm talking about. At the pyre, Wednesday asks Enid to keep watch for the stalker, but Enid gets distracted by students wanting pictures. Some slip Wednesday a blade-laced note from the stalker, telling her to meet under the pyre or lose her novel. She heads inside the structure. Meanwhile, Pugsley tells his friends he'll sneak off to the skull tree once the ceremony starts.
Who's coming?
But none join him. Ajax finally catches up to Enid to ask why she's avoiding him, but she dodges the question. Bruno, her new boyfriend, invites her to sit with him, but she hurries off to help Wednesday instead. The ceremony begins with Miss Capri and the sirens performing the Nevermore anthem. Principal Dort makes a grand entrance, welcomes the crowd, and announces he's abolishing the Nightshades and all other secret societies. The news clearly displeases Bianca.
Therefore, we are all Nightshades.
Enid warns Wednesday to get out before the pyre is lit, but Wednesday refuses to leave without her novel. Dort ignites the pyre with his powers, and the Da Vinci's use telekinesis to fly the massive eagle-shaped structure around. Seeing the danger, Enid alerts Dort, but Wednesday escapes with her manuscript just in time. She rejoins the crowd, only for Dort to welcome her as the student of honor and unveil a commemorative painting of her and her friends. Disgusted by the painting, Wednesday delivers a fiery speech that begins to win cheers, until she turns on the crowd, calling them imbeciles for celebrating something so ridiculous.
You thought I was your hero? I'm not. I always play dirty and I never fight fair. The only side I'm on is my own, and the only place I'll lead you is off a cliff. So do not put me on a pedestal, because I will burn it down.
She drops the mic, grabs a torch, and sets the portrait ablaze, leaving everyone stunned. Meanwhile, Pugsley reaches the skull tree, slips, and accidentally uses his powers to revive the long-dead man buried beneath it. As Wednesday heads back inside, Enid grabs her shoulders, triggering another vision and causing black tears to stream down her face. In the vision, Wednesday stands in a graveyard, staring at a headstone with Enid's name on it. Perched on the stone is the crow from Xavier's painting. Suddenly, Enid seizes her by the neck, accusing her of being the reason she was killed. In real time, Morticia rushes over as Enid sobs, watching Wednesday collapse into a seizure. Wednesday wakes in Morticia's room, still weak from the vision.
I know what those tears mean.
Morticia explains that the black tears are a sign of psychic exhaustion brought on by overusing her powers. She urges Wednesday to give up Goody's spellbook and wait patiently for her true spirit guide.
Goody was my spirit guide. That book belongs to me.
Morticia pleads that she's only trying to help, but Wednesday snaps back that she liked her better when she was far away. After she storms out, Morticia scolds Thing for failing to protect her. On the ride back to Nevermore, Wednesday tells Lurch to make a detour. She visits Donovan Galpin's abandoned, vandalized home and finds his lifeless body, eyes gouged out just like Carl Bradbury's. A swarm of crows bursts from his mouth, all flying out the window except for one, the one-eyed crow. She tries to trigger a vision by touching the body, but nothing happens.
My ability. It's not working.
Before she can investigate further, the police arrive, and Sheriff Santiago arrests her. At the station, Santiago points out that she was present at both murder scenes.
The last person to have his eyes pecked out called Galpin right before he died. I wanted to know what they had discussed, but Galpin wasn't answering his cell. A phone that has since vanished. There was no trace when we searched Galpin's house.
I didn't take his phone.
Wednesday explains that Galpin had invited her over before his death and urges the sheriff to investigate his son Tyler, who hated him. Santiago replies that Tyler is safely locked away in Willow Hill Psychiatric Hospital. Gomez suddenly arrives, posing as Wednesday's lawyer. He demands Santiago get a court order before questioning her further and escorts her out. In the car, Gomez asks why she was at Galpin's house. Wednesday explains Galpin was working a case and had asked for her help. She presses for information about Aunt Ophelia, but Gomez insists that's Morticia's story to tell. Meanwhile, Eugene catches Pugsley sneaking out of the Hummer's shed. Inside, Eugene is stunned to find the chained-up corpse of the boy from the skull tree, alive. Pugsley wants to keep him locked up forever, claiming he can't hurt them because he has no brain. They feed him honey, but he vomits it all over them. Pugsley names him Slurp. Wednesday confides in Thing that her last vision showed Enid's death, and it's somehow tied to the one-eyed crow. She warns him not to tell Enid. Entering her room, Wednesday is horrified to see Enid lying in a pool of blood on the balcony. She rushes over, but Enid bursts out laughing. It's a prank. She says it's revenge for the fake eyeball Wednesday left on her pillow.
What fake eyeball?
But when Wednesday checks the eyeball, she realizes it's real, and it belonged to Galpin. A crow must have dropped it there.
So real looking. Where'd you get it?
A little birdie must have dropped it off.
Before she can react, Enid's phone pings with photos of Wednesday and a message from the stalker. I won't be ignored. Calling the number only leads to Galpin's voicemail.
Why is Galpin stalking you on my phone? And why were you at his house?
This isn't Galpin. He was murdered last night. This must be his killer.
What? Are you pranking me now?
Enid is shaken to learn he's dead and storms off to her driving lesson. Wednesday tries again to trigger a vision with the eyeball but fails. She orders Thing to search Goody's spellbook for a way to restore her powers. Outside, Nevermore students celebrate prank day. Ajax watches sadly as Enid laughs with her new boyfriend, Bruno. Pugsley and Eugene approach with a jar of Eugene's blood-sucking flying fleas.
You know the best medicine for a broken heart?
And release them on Bruno. As Bruno writhes on the ground, the boys laugh, and Ajax thanks them.
Thanks, guys.
Then turns them both to stone.
Happy prank day.
At Rotwood Cottage, Bianca visits Morticia to discuss the gala fundraiser, showing her a list of potential donors. She explains that Principal Dort hopes Morticia can contact her estranged mother for a sizable contribution. Morticia refuses, claiming the last person who asked her for a donation died of fright. Wednesday approaches Principal Dort and Dr. Orloff, who are discussing how Orloff isn't fond of prank day.
Last year, someone put eels in my jaw.
Principal Dort assures her he's not upset about the pyre incident, saying acts of defiance are what make a good outcast. Wednesday asks if they know of any students or teachers who can control birds. Dr. Orloff replies that they haven't had anyone with that ability in the past 10 years. Meanwhile, Eugene and Pugsley visit Slurp at the Hummer shed. Pugsley offers him a sandwich, which Slurp snatches and devours. After the boys leave, Slurp begins breaking free from his chains. Desperate for answers, Wednesday decides to visit Tyler at Willow Hill. To get a ride, she steals Enid's driver's ed consent form. When Enid rushes back for it, Thing insists he hasn't seen it. Morticia enters, and after Enid leaves, she orders Thing to hand over Goody's spellbook. At the school gate, Wednesday pretends to be Enid.
Do you have any previous driving experience? Video games don't count.
My uncle used to let me sit behind the wheel while we ran errands.
Punch it, Toots! Sure.
Once in the driver's seat, she tries to speed off, but the instructor stops her. He has his own set of controls.
I'm the captain of this ship, young lady.
When Slurp's escape attempt distracts him, Wednesday disconnects the controls.
I'm the captain now.
And takes off. Back at Nevermore, Pugsley disrupts Dr. Orloff's class by hiding behind the desk and zapping him. Eugene rushes in to tell him Slurp has escaped. At Willow Hill, the guards refuse to let Wednesday in, assuming she's just another Hyde-obsessed fan. She drops a stack of paperwork and insists they tell their supervisors she's Wednesday Addams. Inside, the secretary explains that only Dr. Fairburn, an outcast psychiatry specialist, can authorize the visit. Dr. Fairburn appears, saying she's been expecting her. She explains that Tyler has been uncooperative and manipulative, and she hopes Wednesday's visit might help. When Wednesday asks about Marilyn Thornhill, Fairburn says she's in another facility, an act meant to weaken her bond with Tyler. Dr. Fairburn escorts Wednesday to Tyler's maximum security cell and monitors their conversation. Tyler mocks her, saying she came because she can't stop thinking about him, and claims she fell in love with the monster inside him because she's one herself. Wednesday tells him his father is dead.
Who else would want him dead?
You looking for my help? I'm flattered. It's gonna be so much more fun watching you grope around in the dark. Say hi to Enid for me. Tell her I'm gonna kill her the next time I see her. Make her pay for sticking her snout in my business. I want her screams to haunt you for the rest of your life.
You're right. I couldn't resist seeing you. Witnessing you chained and caged up makes my dark heart grin. Thornhill chose you to be her murderous marionette, not just because she saw some hide hibernating inside of you, but because she saw the real you, an expendable nobody. I don't need to visit again. I already take up enough space in your twisted head.
In Principal Dort's office, he tells Bianca how crucial it is to secure a donation from Morticia's mother, Hester Frump, believing it will inspire others to give.
Then why don't you have that conversation with Mrs. Addams?
Because you can be so much more persuasive.
You're not seriously asking me to siren song her.
Of course not. I'm ordering you.
You will never try and coerce me again.
Nice try, Ms. Barclay.
Dort reveals a charm made of Corinthian coral shards that makes him immune to siren song. He threatens to pull her scholarship if she doesn't comply. Meanwhile, Enid brings Bruno into her room and finds a gift addressed to Thing. Opening his little room, she catches him drinking.
Thing? Have you been drinking? How is that even... it doesn't matter.
Inside the gift is a mugshot of Thing and a note from Uncle Fester wishing him a happy birthday.
Thing? Is it your birthday? No, Wednesday didn't tell me. Did the entire Addams family forget it was your birthday? I'm really sorry.
She invites him out to celebrate. Before they can leave, someone enters, knocks out both Enid and Bruno, and locks Thing inside his chest room. Later that night, Wednesday finds Thing locked up. He warns her that something happened to Enid. Enid's phone rings, and a voice tells Wednesday she has 30 minutes to save her friend. A note is then slipped under the door reading, "Play dead." Wednesday rushes outside, but the messenger is gone. Enid and Bruno wake to find themselves chained together in an abandoned clock tower. At first, Enid thinks it's a prank.
Okay, Ajax. Great prank.
But after a knife drops from the ceiling, she realizes it's real. Searching for Enid, Wednesday runs into Miss Capri, who invites her to join the fundraiser gala orchestra. Wednesday refuses, recalling Capri's past criticism, but Capri insists she only meant to help her improve. Afterward, Wednesday realizes the letters on the stalker's note are actually musical notes, and the heart symbol means the organ. Playing the notes on the organ reveals a hidden passage, which she follows. Meanwhile, Enid apologizes to Bruno for dragging him into trouble.
This isn't your fault. I mean, it kind of is. Whatever's going on here is clearly connected to my roommate. She's like this dark North Star for psycho killers.
Why are you friends with her?
Because even though Wednesday is literally the tunnel at the end of my light, I can't imagine my life without her in it.
They try to break free but fall. Bruno panics, but Enid helps calm him down, and they share a kiss. As Wednesday moves through the tunnel, a masked figure follows silently, then vanishes, leaving only the mask with the message, "Time is ticking," carved into it. She finds Enid, but the ceiling knives begin to lower. Thing tries to free them, but gets trapped. On a nearby typewriter, a riddle awaits. Wednesday solves it just in time to save them. The stalker reveals herself as Agnes, a 13-year-old with invisibility powers and Wednesday's self-proclaimed #1 fan.
Happy prank day, Wednesday.
She admits to blackmailing some Da Vinci's into helping her with the prank, just to get Wednesday's attention.
I just asked myself, WWWD. What would Wednesday do?
It's my line, you little psycho. I just asked myself, WWWD. What would Wednesday do?
Admit it. You're a little impressed.
I doubt Wednesday is impressed by your tricks, Mr. Thorpe.
Admit it, you're a little impressed.
Why don't I return the favor?
Park your claws, Rainbow Barbie. Besides, I got you some alone time with a pack hottie.
Then why kill Galpin and place his eyeball on Enid's cushion?
That eyeball was real?
I didn't kill Galpin.
Agnes denies knowing anything about Galpin's death or the eyeball left in Wednesday's room. She hands over Galpin's phone and offers to help find the real culprit. Later that night, Wednesday approaches Thing to apologize for forgetting his birthday, presenting him with an antique thumbscrew as a gift.
I'm willing to be your first victim.
Thing accepts the apology and shares his worry about Enid, but Wednesday reassures him she can protect Enid if she regains her powers. She asks if he uncovered anything useful in Goody's spellbook, but Thing reveals Morticia has taken it. Just then, Wednesday spots the one-eyed crow watching them. It takes off the moment she notices. At Rotwood Cottage, Bianca visits Morticia again and discreetly uses her siren powers to compel her into persuading her mother to attend the gala and make a substantial donation to the school. Before leaving, Bianca ensures Morticia has no memory of her visit. Meanwhile, Slurp roams the woods. Driving instructor Gabe Packard leaves a voicemail for Principal Dort, reporting Wednesday's earlier actions. Distracted, he accidentally hits Slurp with his car. Thinking it's an injured animal, Gabe gets out to check, but Slurp vanishes, only to reappear behind him and devour him. Morticia and Gomez treat Thing to a luxurious pedicure to make up for forgetting his birthday. Morticia vents about the stress of chairing the gala fundraiser while caring for the children, adding that she suddenly felt compelled to call her mother to donate. To lighten the mood, Gomez puts on music and dances with her. At that moment, Wednesday sneaks into the house to retrieve Goody's spellbook, but Morticia, anticipating the move, intercepts her. She warns she isn't foolish enough to leave the book somewhere accessible. Wednesday confides her latest vision of Enid's death, the crows, and a possible link to Galpin and Bradbury's killer, insisting she has mastered her ability.
Galpin was murdered by that same one-eyed crow, and his former partner was also killed by these birds. These aren't random attacks, someone is behind it all.
A Navy?
I need to find the killer before they get to Enid.
Morticia still refuses.
You sound just like Ophelia. She was impatient and strong-willed and allowed her ability to drive her to madness.
But the only answers I have are in that book.
They're not answers. They're shortcuts that will lead you down a treacherous path filled with pain.
I'm not your sister.
No, you're my daughter, and I won't fail you the way that my mother failed Ophelia.
As Wednesday investigates the one-eyed crow, Enid packs for the Nevermore camping trip, fussing over a missing bikini. Annoyed, Wednesday tricks her out of the room, only for Agnes to appear, begging to join the mystery hunt.
How long have you been here?
Since this. So what's our next move?
There is no next move. I already have a right hand. I don't need another. Go find somebody else to stalk.
The more you push me away, the more I'll want to please you. Classic emotional manipulation technique.
I'm late for a funeral, and if you're here when I get back, I'll be early for another.
At Galpin's funeral, Wednesday finds only Sheriff Santiago and Dr. Fairburn in attendance. The sheriff warns her to stop hunting the killer before she ends up dead. After she leaves, Dr. Fairburn reveals that Galpin once visited Tyler at Willow Hill, a visit that triggered a violent Hyde transformation. It took 5 minutes of electrocution to force him back into human form. She also confirms that Willow Hill has no patience with bird control abilities. Wednesday departs, unaware the one-eyed crow is watching from a distance. Meanwhile, Slurp has wandered back to the Hummer's shed. Pugsley feeds him and notices he's healing and growing a brain. When Slurp lunges at Eugene, Pugsley quickly shocks him back to his senses. Eugene warns it's dangerous to keep Slurp, especially leaving him unattended while they're at camp. He urges Pugsley to tell the school, but Pugsley refuses, claiming he has a plan.
Did you hear that? She said his first word. That's right, I am your bruh. He's a zombie. He's not trying to call you his bruh. He's trying to save brains.
Elsewhere, Bianca enters the Apple Hollow Inn and uses her siren powers on the receptionist to obtain the key to her mother's room.
This guest is not to be disturbed, and I was never here.
Inside, her mother confesses she's been glued to the news of her ex-husband Gideon being wanted by the feds. Bianca delivers supplies and says the only way her mother could have left the cult was in handcuffs or a body bag, so she made sure it was neither. She reveals Gideon married her only to exploit her for recruitment and to steal people's wealth, but promises to keep her safe. Much to her annoyance, Wednesday reluctantly enlists Agnes's help to unlock Galpin's phone.
Agnes, when you sent me those stalker text messages, how did you unlock Galpin's phone?
The nose is a little bigger.
With assistance from Agnes's shape-shifting friend, they bypass the Face ID. Agnes also hands over belongings she salvaged before the police cleared the scene. Dismissing the girls, Wednesday combs through Galpin's voicemails and finds one mentioning evidence at the bullpen.
Gordon, make it. The evidence is safe at the bullpen.
Among his things, she discovers a photo of a cabin with an address on the back. A quick map search shows it's near Camp Jericho, the destination of Nevermore's upcoming camping trip, forcing her to tag along.
Pack weapons.
On departure day, Principal Dort rallies the students to have fun. While grabbing a snack, Ajax teases Enid about her overpacking and offers to help, but Bruno steps in to block him. Miss Capri pulls Enid aside to lay down Wolfpack ground rules for the full moon campout. After she leaves, Enid lights up at the sight of Wednesday joining the trip. Agnes appears and proudly declares she's Wednesday's new assistant, only to be sent off by Wednesday to secure a window seat. At Camp Jericho, Wednesday spots Pugsley struggling to carry a coffin and asks what's inside. He claims it's firewood for the campfire. Moments later, the rest of the Addams family arrives. Gomez explains they volunteered as parent chaperones to enjoy nature and spend time with the kids.
Lurch, can you give me a hand with this?
Hoping to ease tensions between Morticia and Wednesday, Gomez tries to spark conversation, but Wednesday walks away without a word. Pugsley sets up camp and positions fireworks outside. When Eugene asks about them, Pugsley explains their early warning signals in case Slurp escapes. Eugene is horrified to learn Pugsley brought Slurp to camp, but Pugsley argues that Eugene himself said they couldn't leave him behind at Nevermore. Just then, they hear Gomez approaching and rush out to block him from seeing Slurp. Later, Gomez suggests Morticia return Goody's spellbook, but she refuses, insisting it's better for her daughter to resent her than risk losing her, and she needs Gomez's full support. Meanwhile, Principal Dort welcomes the students to Camp Jericho, greeted with cheers and excitement. Mid-speech, Phoenix cadets led by Ron Kruger arrive, claiming they reserved the ground 6 months earlier. Kruger produces a contract, but Dort counters with his own.
Signed by the camp's owner.
Oh, Jack. Yeah, he retired to Orlando. His son's running the business now. Must have double booked.
Sounds like normie incompetence.
As tempers flare, Wednesday steps forward and proposes a competition to decide who stays. The winner keeps the camp, the loser leaves. Both sides agree. Dort explains the Outcasts vs. Cadets challenge. 2 teams of 10 split into attackers and defenders, racing to capture their opponent Zephyr and bring it to the watchtower. The first to succeed wins. The game begins with the cadets quickly outsmarting Ajax and Bruno, who are guarding the outcast Zephyr. The outcasts struggle to advance as the cadets fight back with tear gas. Things signals Eugene, who unleashes a swarm of bees on their opponents. Wednesday charges into the gas and retrieves the cadet's Zephyr with ease. But as a cadet is about to score, she fires a zip line from a cliff to the watchtower, zips across, and kicks the Zephyr from his hands. She places it in the goal, securing victory for the outcasts. Later, Kruger berates his cadets for losing, vowing to reclaim the camp that night.
Tonight, we recapture Camp Jericho!
Sir, yes, sir!
That evening, while Morticia and the Sirens captivate the camp with song, Wednesday slips away to Galpin's cabin. Inside, she finds obituaries of outcasts, all former Willow Hill patients, all linked to the name Lois.
All Willow Hill patients.
She tries to trigger a psychic vision, but nothing happens.
Goody's book is the only way to get my ability back. I've asked nicely. It's time to try something more pointed.
Deciding her only option is to challenge Morticia for Goody's spell book, she turns to leave. Outside, the one-eyed crow watches from the shadows. At camp, Bianca compliments Morticia on her beautiful singing voice. Principal Dort joins them, asking if she's managed to persuade her mother to restart her donations to Nevermore. Morticia admits she called, but her mother didn't answer, adding that she's a hard nut to crack. Dort urges her to set aside their differences for the school's sake. Nearby, Ajax interrupts a conversation between Bruno and Enid, asking why she decided to move on without making her feelings clear. Enid admits she should have been more open, but says things escalated quickly with Bruno. Hurt, Ajax walks away just as the girl he likes drops that revelation on him. From the shadows, cadets, perfectly camouflaged, slip into the camp. Ron Kruger leads his cadets deeper into camp, instructing them to watch and learn as he heads for Pugsley's tent. But he accidentally triggers the fireworks signal meant for Slurp and stumbles inside. Slurp pounces, devouring his brain as the horrified cadets look on.
Slurp!
Later, Wednesday confronts Morticia in her room, accusing her of crossing boundaries and stealing Goody's book. She challenges her to a blindfolded fencing duel, and when they inform Gomez, he's thrilled. Before the duel begins, Wednesday and Morticia agree to the terms with Thing as the witness. If Wednesday wins, she gets the book. If she loses, Morticia burns it. Both wear glass hearts on their chests. The first to pierce the other's heart claims victory. Thing rings the bell and the fight begins, both moving with exceptional skill.
Still bringing a knife to a sword fight?
Elsewhere, Eugene and Pugsley rush into the tent and find Ron's body. They panic. Agnes appears, saying Wednesday told her to keep Pugsley out of trouble.
Slurp never tried to eat my brain.
Because that would be empty calories.
The three set off to find Slurp. In the woods, Slurp arms himself with an axe and storms into a rustic bathroom where Gomez is bathing, bursting through the door while Gomez remains oblivious. Pugsley arrives just in time, electrocuting the creature. The noise alerts the entire camp. Slurp recovers, grabs his axe, and heads straight for the duel. Morticia wins the match, but before she can savor it, Slurp emerges behind her. Wednesday reacts instantly, hurling her sword through his skull and pinning him to a tree, saving her mother's life. Later, police arrive to take Slurp away. The cadets give Ron Kruger one final salute before his body is removed. Wednesday, quietly processing her loss, faces the reality of continuing her investigation without her powers, still haunted by the mystery of Lois. Then she spots the one-eyed crow again, this time perched on a shadowy figure that vanishes moments later. At Willow Hill, Dr. Fairburn orders constant surveillance on a new patient she says is responsible for at least 2 homicides. As the cell window opens, the prisoner is revealed, Marilyn Thornhill. Marilyn is escorted into Dr. Fairburn's office. Sitting across from the doctor, she casually admits,
I've read your book. Unlocking the Outcast Mind came in very handy when I was grooming Tyler.
Fairburn explains she brought her in to learn exactly what was done to Tyler so she can rehabilitate him, and that she needs Marilyn's cooperation.
I thought keeping you two apart would diminish your emotional hold over him.
But it hasn't, has it?
But Marilyn resists, laying out her own terms for helping.
Only if you'll agree to have me transferred here permanently as a patient and not a prisoner.
Fairburn refuses and orders her locked in solitary and sent back to prison.
You've made your point. I'm willing to help. All I ask is that you let me see Tyler face to face. Just once. Please.
When they bring her to him, Tyler approaches silently.
Oh no, baby. I missed you too.
Until his body contorts into the hide. He seizes Marilyn by the throat
Well, calming down. I promise I'll get you out of here.
and hurls her into the wall. Elsewhere, in a quiet cemetery, Wednesday finds the urn of Patricia Redcar, an outcast whose obituary she discovered in Galpin's cabin. Her grandmother Hester arrives. Curious about her interest, Wednesday shows her the collection of obituaries,
All patients at Willow Hill. They're all cremated and buried here.
explaining she witnessed her roommate's death in a vision and believes these deaths are connected. Hester urges her to smell Patricia's ashes, and Wednesday realizes they're fake.
Squirrel and raccoon, and a subtle finish of Shih Tzu.
Very good.
What's missing? Human.
Watching from above, the one-eyed crow swoops in, snatching the obituary papers before flying off to a shadowy figure. Wednesday gives chase, but loses them both. Turning to her grandmother, she asked her to buy the cemetery.
I need you to buy this cemetery and find out who authorized those cremations.
Why would I do something so rash?
Because once you told my mother that you're finally getting me into the family business, all of her childhood insecurities will come bubbling to the surface.
Well played, my dear.
Back at Nevermore, the one-eyed crow lingers nearby, tracking Wednesday's every move. She barges into Enid's room to find her and Bruno mid-makeout, only to realize Agnes is there as well.
How long have you been here?
Somewhere between and
Let's go.
Stay out of my room, you little creep.
After the two leave, Agnes hands Wednesday a letter from her publisher. Wednesday opens it to find a rejection of her novel, along with the suggestion that she seek psychological help.
Regrettably, I must drop you as a writer. Please seek help.
Any luck getting your work published?
Editors are short-sighted, fear-based life forms. One once described my writing as gratuitously morbid and suggested I seek psychiatric help. Ironic, isn't it?
How did you take that?
I sent her a thank you. I've always been open to constructive criticism.
I'm glad to hear that.
I'm sorry.
Why? I'd rather no one read my novel than make a compromise.
Still smarting from the blow, Wednesday heads to the clock tower to meet Uncle Fester. She tells him she has a mission that will require him to infiltrate Willow Hill. Fester recalls the last time he was there was to check on Aunt Ophelia for Morticia.
Nobody sneaks up on me, kid. She with you?
This is my stalker. I turned her into an unpaid expendable gopher.
A stampede of chupacabras makes less noise than you. Learn to hold your breath and walk on the seams of the floorboards.
She produces a blueprint of the hospital. Wednesday tells him his job is to get inside Willow Hill and locate someone named Lois.
Could be a patient, could be a doctor.
Later, Fester checks into the Apple Hollow Inn with money stained by an anti-theft die pack. Within minutes, he causes a disturbance that prompts the receptionist to call the police. Sheriff Santiago arrives with backup, ordering her deputies to search the other rooms while she deals with Fester. In one of those rooms, a deputy finds Bianca's mother.
This room's supposed to be empty. Who are you?
And takes her into custody. Santiago also places Uncle Fester under arrest. At the station, Sheriff Santiago questions Fester, but his erratic antics make any straight answers impossible.
Check this out. Bank robber who eluded arrest last year.
Putting these up around town. It's a bank robbery suspect, and he's a real creep. You haven't seen him, have you?
Frustrated, she orders Dr. Fairburn called in so he can be transferred to Willow Hill. Santiago also learns that Bianca's mother had been living at the inn in secret, an unsolved mystery no one saw coming. At Nevermore, Eugene, Pugsley, and Ajax are serving punishment for the slurp incident at camp. Ajax protests, claiming he's just their resident advisor, but Principal Dort isn't swayed. Bianca joins them to sort fundraiser invitations, only to be bombarded with texts from her mother urging her to come to the station. She asks to leave, but Dort refuses and instructs Dr. Orloff to keep watch. Ajax notices Bianca's phone lighting up again. She admits her mother is in trouble, but says she can't leave, and her siren song won't work on Dr. Orloff, whose head lives in a glass tube. Ajax simply removes his beanie, turning Orloff to stone. Eugene and Pugsley beg to come along, but Bianca hits them with a siren command to stay. At the police station, Bianca arrives with Ajax and claims the woman they've detained is her mother. She smoothly sirens the officers into dropping the case and erasing all related records. At Rotwood Cottage, Wednesday visits Morticia, who assumes she's come to beg for Goody's book. Instead, Wednesday asks why Aunt Ophelia was sent to Willow Hill. After some hesitation, Morticia explains that Ophelia shed black tears, just like Wednesday, and pushed her abilities too far.
I pleaded with Grandmama that Ophelia would only get worse in Willow Hill, that her problems weren't mental, they were psychic. But my appeals fell on deaf ears. Grandmama was always better at burying things than fixing them.
To Morticia's surprise, Hester arrives, handing Wednesday the deed to the cemetery she just purchased. As Wednesday departs, Hester whispers a name.
Augustus Stonehurst.
That's who signed those death certificates.
Morticia accuses her of trying to turn Wednesday against her. They argue over Ophelia until Hester offers to donate to Nevermore in exchange for giving Wednesday Goody's book of spells. Morticia refuses, pulls out the book, and throws it into the fire. At Willow Hill, Uncle Fester chats with Dr. Fairburn, revealing he spent most of his life in psychiatric hospitals.
Festa Dubois, Festa Fumagalli, and my personal favorite,
Festa Fiesta.
What is your real name?
Well, it's just Fester, like an open wound.
A brain scan confirms he literally has nails and scissors lodged inside his skull, prompting Fairburn to officially admit him. While poking around for Lois, he mistakes the cook, Louise, for her.
Lois? Oh, your name's Louise.
The misunderstanding doesn't stop him from making out with her, thanks to their instant chemistry. Meanwhile at Nevermore, the mysterious Crow controller infiltrates the school. Agnes informs Wednesday that Augustus Stonehurst was once a normie science teacher at Nevermore, and a doctor at Willow Hill, now lying in a comatose state there. Wednesday sends Thing to relay the intel to Fester.
I think you might be our key to finding Lois.
Enid confronts her, demanding to know why she's been shut out and whether their friendship still means anything, or if she's been replaced by Agnes. Before Wednesday can answer, a swarm of crows descends, attacking. Controlled by the mystery figure, they force Wednesday and Enid to duck behind a table. Principal Dort and Morticia rush in, Dort hurling fireballs. One crow snatches Thing, but Dort's aim forces it to drop him, and Enid catches him midair. Wednesday spots the hooded figure fleeing and gives chase, but they escape, leaving only their dark hoodie behind. Backtracking, she finds Dr. Fairburn in the same room and grows suspicious.
I think you dropped this.
Excuse me?
What brings you to Nevermore, Dr. Fairburn?
Fairburn claims she's visiting Miss Capri about musical therapy at Willow Hill. Capri enters, out of breath.
You seem out of breath.
It's been a long day. I assume you're here to drop out of the gala orchestra?
I've decided to stick around. Every Mozart needs their Salieri.
As Dr. Fairburn leaves Nevermore, Thing slips unseen into her car. Watching from a window, Wednesday is approached by Morticia, who demands to know why Uncle Fester is at Willow Hill.
We both know he only gets caught when he wants to.
When Wednesday admits he's helping with her investigation, Morticia warns that pressing forward will only make things worse. But Wednesday refuses to stop. Inside Willow Hill, Thing meets Fester and instructs him to find Augustus, who is the key to uncovering Lois. Fester asks a guard about Augustus, and the man leads him directly to the comatose former doctor. Augustus is unable to speak, but his parrot answers for him.
Lois?
Shut your pie hole!
Excuse me?
Eat shit, Baldy!
After a small jolt of electricity from Fester, the bird blurts out a number connected to Lois.
51971, 51971.
Fester wheels Augustus back to his room, passing Marilyn, who instantly recognizes his name.
Fester, get a move on. Lights on 20.
Fester Addams.
As they pass a door marked maintenance room, Augustus points and says, Lois. Once Augustus is in bed, Fester sneaks back toward the door. In Dr. Fairburn's office, Marilyn reports spotting Fester at the facility, warning it can only mean Wednesday is prying into the doctor's business. In exchange for the tip, she demands to work alongside Fairburn on Tyler. Moments later, Fairburn and her guards catch Fester trying to enter the maintenance room and knock him out. When he wakes, she informs him he's being sent to solitary, with Slurp. Thing watches from the shadows, then races back to Nevermore to tell Wednesday. At Nevermore, Bianca and Ajax smuggle her mother into the school. Navigating the tunnels, they nearly run into Principal Dort, but manage to slip away unseen. Meanwhile, Wednesday questions Dr. Orloff about Augustus's past as a science teacher. She learns he was a normie and had a young daughter at the time. Thing reports Wednesday of what he saw. She sends him straight back to Willow Hill to keep watch on Fester until she has a breakout plan. Wednesday gathers her friends to outline the infiltration. Miss Capri's upcoming music class at Willow Hill will provide their window.
Capri has a music therapy class tonight at Willow Hill. She's her way in and out.
Thing has already secured help from the cook, who will get her to Fester so they can find Lois together. Agnes will create a distraction at the gates to ease entry. Enid, tired of being sidelined, demands to join. Wednesday agrees, assigning her as lookout, and instructs her to call Sheriff Santiago if things go wrong. Wednesday hides inside Miss Capri's trunk as she drives toward Willow Hill, where Agnes is already stationed at the security post. When a guard begins searching the car, Agnes triggers an explosion in the security bathroom, pulling attention away from the checkpoint and letting Wednesday slip through. Inside, the cook guides her past patrols and straight to Fester's cell. She breaks him out, but leaves the door ajar, allowing Slurp to tear free of his chains. The creature barrels through the facility, attacking the guards holding Marilyn, giving her a chance to escape. As she sprints past Wednesday, the two lock eyes, neither speaking. Meanwhile, Miss Capri's music class turns into a dramatic piano performance. The sirens cut her short as Dr. Fairburn is alerted that the zombie is loose. Wednesday and Fester reach the maintenance room only to discover it's a front, an entrance to the Long-Term Outcast Integration System, or LOIS. Beneath the hospital lies a secret lab where outcasts, whose obituaries Wednesday has been investigating, are imprisoned for experimentation. Among them is a pale, unrecorded woman.
Hello? Are you here to kill me? Then leave me alone.
The crow-controlling stranger steps forward, revealing herself as Judy Stonehurst, Augustus's daughter. She explains Lois's true purpose, extracting unique abilities from outcasts and transferring them to normies. She was her father's first success, a normie turned avian after invasive experiments.
Experimenting on his own daughter. That's twisted, even by my own sick standards.
I volunteered. My father and I were a team. He needed a subject. I wanted to be part of his legacy.
Until he lost his mind?
He wanted to be a Da Vinci, but his body couldn't take it.
With no other escape, Fester unleashes a massive shockwave that knocks out the hospital's entire power grid. Enid, on lookout, immediately calls Sheriff Santiago. In the chaos, the test subjects break free, swarming Judy as she struggles to fight them off. Wednesday seizes the moment, pulling the pale woman from her cell and disappearing into the dark. Chaos erupts as guards try to contain Slurp. Marilyn breaks free from her handcuffs and releases Tyler from his chains. Still resentful over the past, Tyler grabs her, threatening to kill her. Marilyn pleads, revealing that Wednesday is in the building and is the real enemy they should target. Tyler agrees to handle Wednesday, but gives Marilyn a 5-second head start to run. As soon as she flees, he transforms into the Hyde and hunts her down. She isn't fast enough. He catches her and fatally impales her with his claws. Elsewhere, Uncle Fester bids the cook farewell with a passionate kiss, thanking her for all her help. In her office, Dr. Fairburn shields Augustus, unaware that Slurp has slipped inside. Slurp attacks and devours her, then greets Augustus as an old friend. Before making him his next victim. In the hospital hall, Tyler locks eyes with Wednesday. He charges, but she stands her ground. Tyler shoves her through a window, sending her crashing to the floor just as police arrive. They open fire, but he attacks the officers and escapes. This concludes the first 4 episodes of the second season of Wednesday. If you'd like to see the next part, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. The continuation will be on the channel soon. Also, share your thoughts about the second season and what you think will happen in the upcoming episodes.